Hello and welcome. I'm Holly Miami, and this is all different. It's actually not, you know. This is what you normally see when I do those pieces to camera, those introductions to my films, except normally it's covered by something completely different. This is the Miami Media Studio. Yes, it might look just like a desk in the middle of nowhere with a load of computers on, but all this stuff here is what we use to create the magic that are the films that you all get to see when we do our Pride and our Outside videos. Obviously, when we do these things, it's not just a matter of popping out to your event and doing a bit of filming and then coming home and sticking it on a computer. The 8 or 10 hours I may spend on a site is then trumped somewhat by the probably minimum 2 10-hour days it'll take me to do something with the footage. Obviously the equipment we use is pretty well sorted out these days. I've gotten through a lot of ups and downs over the last 12 months, 15 months, maybe even 2 years. We went through a lot of loops to learn, made a lot of mistakes, but we're getting there now. And as it shows that some of our videos are really getting some serious view figures. So the idea of this is weekend of 25th of June, and it's a down weekend. It was planned this way because for the next probably 8 weeks we're going flat out. For the next 6 weeks I've got 7 gigs to cover in 6 weeks. One of the weeks I'm doing 2. It's going to be absolutely manic. So we planned in some downtime on this, and me being me thought, right, I'll sit and I'll relax and I'll do nothing. When was the last time this girl ever did nothing? So I thought, what I do, I put a little video together that blows some of the myths out of the water. Now, I don't know how many of you gang know anything about green screen technology. If you've done anything with filmmaking, you'll know what it's all about. If you haven't, it might be a bit of a learning curve. So obviously all those pieces to cam I do at the front end and the bits in the middle are all done to green screen and blended. Yes, that's no problem. It's all done by this wonderful machinery here. But there's some other little bits you might not know. I'm stood talking to my usual Canon XA11 camera kit. Now I'm actually going to cheat here, because at this point I'm going to take a photograph of me taking a photograph. I think you've seen these before because I put them on the socials. Brilliant little piece of kit, works well, does for me what I need it to do for me. There you go. And as I say, it's one of the little things we ironed out. But when I come and see you people, it doesn't look like that. I will carry on this film just doing voiceovers, because otherwise the continuity between the different bits will blow the whole thing out of the water. So sit back for the next 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, whatever, and have a little look at what Holly gets up to, behind the scenes of what Holly gets up to. So let's start with green screen technology. We've all seen the beginning of this video. Let's face it, it's probably one of my more famous ones at the moment. Well, it is one of my more famous ones. And it's walking up to the screen right now at the moment. And I was going to do this piece to cam in front of the town hall, but then I saw the stage, and oh, you know what I'm like for stages. Hello and welcome. I'm Holly Miami yet again. Oh, it's been a while since I've been on one of these. Just ease up a bit, lads, will you? I'm trying to talk to the people out here. Ooh, a stage. Ooh, shall I sing you a song? No, okay. I'll tell you about the film instead then. This time, Blackburn Pride. So there you go. That is mixing of 2 backgrounds. A strange little twist on this. Because of my very light coloured hair, I have to choose dark coloured backgrounds. So you see a lot in what I do that I have to choose the background specifically. It works for me, and we carry on, and we just about get by. This is another one that worked quite well, and I had to be very background specific on it. Hello and welcome. I'm Holly Miami. And the lady I have with me today is Heather McNeilis. This lady is prospective Green Party candidate for the Gorse Hill ward here in Worcester at the up-and-coming elections on 5th of May. I became aware of the work that Heather does basically through social media, and I thought this is a good way of getting to know exactly what it takes to be a prospective councillor. Heather, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Heather. I live in Worcester.
So as you can see, that was actually rigged in my very own dining room. You could do anything you want. I mean, the stately home it looked like we were in was all just blended in. It's all part of what we do. You can have any background you want and it turns out just like that. Right, so that's green screening. How about what we do when we go out onto site? So it's rare I get to see myself when I'm out and about on location because obviously I'm behind the camera. Sometimes some of the lovely event photographers, and I'm starting to get quite friendly with these days, will take pictures of me as part of the pictures they're taking of the crowds and everything else. But apart from that, it is just me and I make my films and you all get to see them, but nobody gets to see me, which is all well and good because as you all know, in the past I've been pretty well a diva, and in this direction I've taken in filmmaking is on the flip side of a good few years in front of the camera. So this is me retiring back behind camera, and that's all good. But there was one event, particularly over the last couple of months, where one of the artists, a guy called Kyle Finn, brilliant artist, he had a second video person there. In other words, every gig he does, he takes his own video person. So it was fairly inevitable because on that particular one, Kyle was what we call working the crowd. He was off the stage and out amongst the crowd on the park, and my personal brief was to follow him as closely as possible with the camera rigged for mobile. Now, rigged for mobile, it looks a little bit like this. It's on a monopod, it is on a gimbal stabilizer, hence the reason the camera itself has got to be stripped right down because it's got to be as light as possible for the stabilizer to work. And Kyle's video guy, Adam Ryan, obviously caught me as he went around doing whatever he was doing. And it's quite unusual for me to see that I was particularly on that one with Kyle charging around the crowd, and there's me like a great big galumphing elephant charging around behind him. It was quite interesting for me to see how things are now. I've got a few clips I've put together just to show you, and you'll get to see what I'm talking about.
I am a cider drinker. I drink it all off the top, just round the corner. It's the place we have our fun. When she's able, we take a stroll down Lover's Lane. And we sing the point of Scrumpy, and we'll play old nature's game. Who are who are I? 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 Thank you. Have we heard this one today? Oh no, in a minute. Left a good job in the city, place in Memphis. I bumped a lot of tame down in New Orleans, but I never saw the good side. Yeah. To Memphis, and I learned if I get drunk, well, you know I'm gonna be the man sitting next to you. And if I give up, well, you know I'm gonna be when I'm lonely. Well, you know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, take I'll even go. Sweet Caroline, the times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would. I believe they never could. teardrops in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on blue sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place.
So there you go, lovely gang. That's the sort of thing that Holly gets up to when she's making your video films. As I said, a lot of it is, if you've had anything to do with video production, it's not particularly eye-opening, but for the rest of you, it's a little bit of insight on the sort of stuff we do. As we go on through doing these outside events this summer, you will see us more and more, the great pink blob zooming around the place, capturing you for all to see and enjoy. Just remains for me, Holly Miami, until I bump into you all again, to wish you all the best and just to simply say bye-bye.
West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, country roads.